Well, Willie, we're touching distance now from the start of the season. How's your first pre-season as a full-time head coach treated you?
Yeah, pretty good. Everything that I expected, but more so pleasing because of the effort that the players have put in. That's always what it's about and how they apply themselves. Got through some good tactical work. They're gelling together really well, which is important, and really excited about what we get to show off in the next couple of weeks.
You made some big strides towards the back end of last season, but I suppose that was almost like a live job interview for you at times.
Yeah, almost.
This time around, I guess it's a very different mentality, knowing that you've kind of got to lay the tracks down for a season that runs through till September.
Yeah, for sure. And I was sort of babysitting, if you like, in that position with no real pressure. But yeah, it all sits on my shoulders now, and I'm really happy with and really impressed with the staff that have recruited around me to help me manage everything and put everything in place. And now been more than happy with our leadership group that we've got as players. They've really taken a stranglehold on the culture and what we're trying to establish with the club, and that all adds to the excitement that we all have going into the season.
You have recruited on the pitch, of course, but is it kind of some of your off-field appointments that you're perhaps most pleased with in terms of the infrastructure and what you can offer your players?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the new additions that we made to the staff, and as you say, the off-field stuff, but really happy with the inclusion of the new blokes on the field too. Liam Hood's added a different dimension, as is Lee Gaskell's been really good. And he's shown a lot of our group. I knew some of it from Huddersfield, some of the qualities that he has, and Tom Lynham's big body. Corey Hall's been fantastic for us, and I'm really excited for those guys and see how they fit within our squad.
And there must be quite a big buzz just around the club in general. Obviously, talk about the stadium redevelopment and a real opportunity, I guess, for you to be at the helm of almost a sort of renaissance, I guess, for Wakefield.
Well, the new stadium or the refurbishment will give such a massive boost, not only to the team but to the fans and to the city itself. And there's been promise and talk of either a new stadium or the existing stadium being done up for so long. People sort of lost hope, but I think everyone's got a reinvigorated hope that we can take the club forward and keep moving in the direction that we all want to go, on the back of the board's willingness to invest and go, and the council as well, getting behind the club and supporting it, and just showing the players especially that the support off the field is coming for them as well.
I suppose usually at this time of year you can kind of look at the league table for the previous season and which clubs have recruited, now they've recruited, try and line the two up and make an assessment of who will be where. But given the disruption of the last 2 years and the way things have been, and then also the way clubs have recruited, it kind of feels like pretty much it's an open playing field, this, isn't it? Anything can happen at this stage.
Yeah, that's the exciting bit, and that's how it should be every time we start a season, that everybody has a hope, everybody has a chance on their day, and we go to games every single week, not really being able to select a clear-cut winner, and that's exciting. That's what we want the sport to look like, and that's what we want to have every club now. And as far as we're concerned, our part is to play in that, is being able to turn up and back that up now.
And obviously your first crack as a head coach, but you've plenty of experience, of course, as an assistant coach at various clubs across the league. So you must feel like you've got that kind of bank of experience, of not, a bank of knowledge behind you to have a real good tilt at this.
Yeah, I've done an apprenticeship, and that's going to help a little bit. But I'm going to have to be the best coach that I can be for my players and my group every single day, and that is partially some of the stuff that I've learnt along the way. But it's also a job, as I learnt last year, that you pick up stuff along the way. You're learning as you go along, and you're picking up pieces that are always needing management. They're always needing attention, and that's the stuff that you're excited about. They're the challenges of coaching.
And Hull FC up for you guys first. I guess a little bit like yourselves, frustrated from last year, looking to set the tone for 2022 with a big performance. It got the potential to be a really good game, but a real challenge for yourselves.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone knows that Hull FC are a big side, and stories are they've got some injuries and some players might not be playing. They've recruited heavily again, lost a couple of players. There were big influences on how they played, but like everybody else, they'll be excited to get going next Sunday, and we're going to prepare for the best Hull FC squad that we can, focusing on those players that they have questionable participating in the game.
I suppose when there are question marks over a player like Jake Connor, but then also round one, they've got Luke Gale inside for the first time. It must throw up a few unknowns, a little bit of a variable for you as a coach to try and just work out how they're going to set themselves up.
Yeah, and how he fits into their squad, and such as the influence that Luke Gale has positionally, but personally as well, how they react around him. Throws a lot of questions that we have to be on board about, and no doubt he'll have a big influence in how they play this season. And he's one of those names that we'll be focusing on and doing a bit of homework on and seeing how he fits in.
Just lastly, always a buzz, of course, around this time of the year as we get going, but a bit of an extra on this year, I think. Sky have done a great job for so many years with presenting the sport, but we've got Channel 4 on board as well, a free-to-air market on good times at a weekend. It's got the potential to be a real positive thing for rugby league, this, isn't it?
Yeah, and a lot of people have been saying we need to get a broadcaster that casts the net a little bit wider to the free-to-air audiences nationally, and hopefully having Channel 4 on board helps to do that, and we start to get a broader audience, supportive-wise, but also corporately. The game's screaming out for corporate backers still, and as you say, Sky have done a fantastic job, but to those that don't have pay-per-view TV, it gives them an opportunity to watch and learn and hopefully fall in love with our game.
Well, best of luck.